Let's go over the top 5 best things that I've found since moving to Sweden. Now this video is going to be perfect for you if you look at traveling here, or especially if you're looking at moving to Sweden. Now starting off with number 5 is that everyone in Sweden speaks English. And when I say everyone, I mean 89% of the population. Such a blessing when you're traveling to Sweden or moving to Sweden as an English speaking person.
Nice.
And number 4 is that everything is so well spread out. Coming from a big city like Melbourne, it can take me 2 to 3 hours to get from one side of the city to the other side, which is just an absolute nightmare when all you want to do is get home from a long day of work. But in Sweden, everything is kind of spread out. You know, cities usually have 100,000 or less in them, unless you're looking at, you know, Gothenburg or Stockholm. Then they're obviously a lot more crowded and traffic can be a lot worse. But the fact that everything is so nicely spread out just makes everything so easy. And that brings me to number 3, which is that in Sweden, housing is reasonably affordable. When you consider it to Melbourne, where, you know, a house or a 1-bedroom studio apartment could be anywhere from 350,000 euros plus. In Sweden, you could kind of get a 2, 3, 4-bedroom home for the same price. Value is phenomenal. And that brings me to number 2, which is that housing is so well insulated. Coming from Australia, where if it's hot outside, it's hot inside, and if it's cold outside, it's cold inside. And you know, we've got heating and air conditioning in Australia, but electricity is expensive and we don't run it all the time. But in Sweden, the houses are so well insulated that you can have the heaters running for a little while and it'll keep that heat inside. So it could be -10 outside, but it's still 20+ degrees inside, which is lovely. I remember back when we were in Australia, Josie was like, oh my God, it's so cold. And I'm like, how are you cold? You're from Sweden. And she's like, yeah, but it's -10 outside. It's still 20 degrees inside. And I never really understood what she was saying until I got to Sweden and I got to go inside when it was freezing cold, snowing outside, go inside, got nice warmth, hot chocolate, perfect. And that brings me to number 1, guys, and this is so important to me. That is the fact that ice hockey is so big in Sweden. Coming from Australia, I grew up playing hockey at the age of 8 years old. I played for my state. I got drafted to play for my country, which got cancelled, but that's another story. And I've absolutely loved hockey growing up as a kid. So to be here in Sweden and watching these incredible players that end up going up to the NHL, playing in Sweden is just a phenomenal experience. And whether you love hockey or not, I recommend that you go to a game. My girlfriend Josie, who you know on this channel if you've watched us for a while, isn't big into hockey, but the atmosphere at these games is just electric. It'll just, oh my God, I still went home and was singing Abikyo all night long. Now I hope that you guys enjoyed this video on my favorite 5 things about Sweden. If you did, I'm sure that you'll love this one somewhere up here on the top 5 weirdest things about Sweden. So check that out. We'll see you over there.